Hey peeps, welcome back to the channel. We are finally getting some news on what cards are going to be on our release special booster 2.0. I want to remind you that this is not BT18, then BT19, then BT20 like Bandai is doing. They are in fact merging the sets in order to lead us towards a unification of set releases come May 2025. So they're giving us a release booster 2.0 and a release booster 2.5. Release booster 2.0 is obviously very important because it will be legal for nationals. And I'm getting ready to test nationals already in the off chance that I do go to nationals. And no, don't ask me if I'm going or not because I don't know. If I can find someone to stay with and the trip can be for a good budget, I will go. If something else happens in the meantime, I will not go. If it's going to be too expensive, like I'd rather throw that money in the stock market. That's just the point of my life that I'm in right now. So let's see what happens on that. But we are going to review the cards being revealed and see if they're going to make a difference in the Nationals format. And today we're going over the whole composite stuff, the Millenniummon stuff. It's basically all in 2.0. It will be legal for nationals. Will that matter? Well, let's find out in today's video. And if you want to see more of this special Booster 2.0 coverage in the way that I do this, let me know in the comments. And of course, please like and subscribe. Start here with Gizamon, who evolves on Pokemon for 0 by trashing a card with the Composite or Wicked God trait in your hand, draw 2, that's the on play, and then blocker inheritable. Good rookie for the deck, no real complaints. Gazimon here also evolves on Pokemon for 0. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add a card of Millenniummon in its name, and a card with Composite or Wicked God trait from among them. Return those to the bottom with Retaliation Inheritable. We love Retaliation Inheritables. Really do enjoy Retaliation Inheritables. Lets you swing into something and kill it, and you have a deck full of on-deletion effects. So I think this Gazimon egg is actually super valuable. And of course now, here's our Pokemon egg, right? On deletion, if deleted other than in battle, return one level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So yeah, get your purple rookie back. So that way you always have a rookie for your Pokemon. That's pretty pog if you ask me. Alright, so the rookie in the baby lineup is fine. That's cool. What about the rest of the stuff? Well, we have Deltamon here. It evolves for 3, or evolves on a Gazimon or Gizamon for 2. With Raid, and on play when evolving by trashing a card in your hand, return one card with Composite or Wicked God trait from your trash to your hand. That's important, because you could return a card that's not a Digimon to your hand with a Composite or Wicked God trait. Will that matter? I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, on Inheritable Retaliation as well, pretty cool. The fact that it only costs 5 to play is neat as well. And then we have another Deltamon here. Same thing, Gazimon or Gizamon for 2. Then you got an on-play when dwelling on deletion by trashing a card in your hand, delete one level 4 lower Digimon. Not super good in my opinion. Unless it's there to pop a floodgate, odds are it's not going to get you a lot of value anyway. But you'll play it, Inheritable Blocker is always nice to see. Ideally, you want to mix and match, right? So you would like this Deltamon with this Gazimon, and you'd probably want this Gizamon with this Deltamon. I got confused for a second there. So yeah, mix and matching is cool. Lots of stuff you can do. Let's move on to the spicy stuff. The 5s, Chimeramons. Got 2 Chimeramons. One that was in BT18 in Japan, and one that was BT19 in Japan. This is BT18 one. Evolves for 4, or on a level 4 composite trait, 3. When evolving when attacking by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Maybe that's cool. Don't forget that if your opponent has a singular boss monster on the board, right? Just one, like a Ruin Mode or something, for example. This Chimeramon, you know, you could evolve it, and you could pop one of your low dudes to pop a whole Ruin Mode or something, just for an example. Like, you can do that. That's a legal play. If the lowest level is, or sorry, lowest DP is freaking 15,000 DP, it's dead. Game over. So that's pretty cool. And then on deletion, one of your Machinedramon and one Chimeramon in the trash may DNA to Digivolve the Millenniummon in the hand. That's really cool, because this is relatively easy enough to set up, and then you just DNA Millenniummon, which you might even be able to do on your opponent's turn. Go to Millenniummon a little bit later. This has security attack +1, by the way, inheritable, which is never bad. Then we have a Chimeramon from BT19. Same evolution requirements, same thing. But it's different. It's Digicross. -1. 3 level 4 composite trait Digimon cards with different card numbers. You could do Deltamon 1, Deltamon 2, Deltamon 3. You really could just do that. Anyway, Chimeramon on play when Digivolving by deleting one of your Digimon. Delete when your opponent's level 3, one level 4, and level 5 Digimon. This, I doubt, would ever come up in the fullest extent, because if you actually play into that, you're pretty bad. But yeah, it might pop a 3 or a 4 or something, you know, whatever. On deletion, by deleting one of your level 4 or lower purple red Digimon, you may play a Machinedramon from your trash without paying the cost. That is really cool. So let's find out if the Machinedramons are worth talking about here. This is the BT19 one on play when Digivolving, which falls for 3. Delete one level 5 or lower Digimon. On deletion, play a level 5 or lower Digimon card to Cyborg or composite trait from your trash without paying the cost. Not bad. They all float, which is the really cool thing with the archetype. It all floats. We like floaters. Floaters are good value. Also has Digicross -1 with 5 level 5 or lower Cyborg composite trait Digimon cards with different card numbers. It's really cool because it's like a different EX1 Machinedramon, right? You're Digicrossing. Now, it's not, you know, it's whatever. It's cool. And you're going to play it in the composite deck, whatever. Is it that good of a Digicross? Probably not. Now, it has a good inheritable effect, I will say. Opponent's turn once per turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon attack, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with the composite or Wicked God trait. That's really cool. Redirecting is really, really cool, because maybe you just redirect into something with retaliation inheritable, or something that's just bigger. So your opponent may not be able to attack because this will just redirect. So that's not bad. I will give it that. Let's move on to Machinedramon number 2. This one came out in BT18, technically. Evolves for 3, or any level 5 composite for 3. When this card will be played, by deleting one of your Digimon with the composite trait, reduce the play cost by 4. So effectively, you can play it for 7, triggering an on-deletion on one of your composite traits, which pretty much have on-deletion effects that are really good. So I think that that's actually a really good on-play. You play it for 7, and you get an effect. Nice. Then you get an on-play, or when Digivolving, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. It's like a Death X without popping. That's neat. On deletion, one of your Chimeramon and one Machinedramon in the trash may Digivolve into Millenniummon in the hand. Same kind of thing, just in reverse, which is cool. Again, not super hard to set up, and a surprise Millenniummon could be annoying. And it has the same inheritable, the redirection. So that's not too bad. Machinedramon cards aren't that bad. I'd say this one is better by a hair, but we are splitting hairs at that point in time. Alright. This Millenniummon came out as super rare in BT18 in Japan. This thing here can evolve for 4 on a red or a black Digimon, or DNA Digivolve a Chimeramon plus a Machinedramon for 0. Yeah, so a level 5 Chimeramon, level 6 Machinedramon for nothing can make Millenniummon as a new Digimon. You get your on-player when Digivolving effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then a DNA Digivolving by returning one of each Digimon card, different levels from your opponent's trash, top of their deck, get an error for each card returned. That's not too bad, right? Does nothing against D-Reaper, but like, you know, if your opponent's got a fully loaded trash, gain some memory back, why not? What's really cool is, don't forget you could play this on your opponent's turn through various on-deletion effects. So, like, if the opponent's not careful, it steals the turn. And that's nice. I mean, if you're trying to set that up, it's really cool. It also has Digicross with Chimeramon Machinedramon -2. That's not too bad. On deletion, by returning a Chimeramon Machinedramon from your trash to the bottom of the deck, which you should always have, by the way, you may play one of Millenniummon from your trash without paying the cost. That's a good floating ability. Millenniummon spam just goes really hard. But it's good. Not bad. Alright. Moon Millenniummon. This came out in BT19. This one, everyone was like, oh my god, Millenniummon's getting real support. It's over! Anyway, so this evolves for 5 on a purple, level 6, or 2 on a Millenniummon. As an on-player when dueling effect, your opponent trashes cards in their hand to 5 left. For every 2 cards if that's trashed, delete my opponent's tamers. So a little bit of tamer removal, not too bad. All turns when this Digimon will leave the battle area by deleting composite trait Digimon doesn't leave. That's also really cool, because not once per turn. So if you have a board full of composites, well, all of a sudden this thing is going to be really hard to get rid of, which is good. And then all turns once per turn, when other Digimon tamers are deleted, trash your opponent's top security card. it burns a security basically every turn, which is you know how I feel about security burn cards. A little bit strong, but whatever. All right, Moon Millenniummon. Everyone thought this card would be the game changer, but then we got Zeed Millenniummon. Oh boy, yeah. All right, this card 16 to play, 6 to evolve on a purple 6, black 6, or red 6, or evolve it on a Moon Millenniummon for 2. Overclock Composite. At the end of your turn, by deleting one of your other tokens or composite trait Digimon, this Digimon attacks a player without suspending. That's the Overclock mechanic from the Yellow Puppet deck. Overclock. Really cool ability. I like it a lot. Cool. You could like evolve into a passive return and swing. You can do that. Alright. On play, or when Digivolving and when attacking. By returning one Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck, return one other Digimon to the bottom of the deck. That's just good removal. That's crazy removal. Then all turns, Decision One with no Digivolution cards can't suspend, isn't affected by your opponent's effects. So it kind of just stands there and does nothing, but it can overclock. So that's fine. That's cool. It's a secret rare. It's a good payoff for the deck. Whatever. And the last Millenniummon card announced was their delay option, the Wicked God Descends. Oh look, Wicked God trait. Where have we talked about that before? Anyway, this 4-cost purple option has a main effect. Play a composite trait Digimon from your trash with the play cost reduced by 4, then place this card in the battle area. That's whatever. Fine. And then all turns, when any of your Digimon Millenniummon in their names would leave the battle area, delay. Play Wicked God trait Digimon card with a play cost 1 higher than that Digimon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. So yeah, if your Moon Millenniummon would die, you get Zeed Millenniummon for free. Or if your Millenniummon would die, you get Moon Millenniummon for free. And they all have on-play abilities that are pretty good. So it activates right at that point in time. So if your opponent has this on the board, well, all of a sudden removing the Millenniummon becomes a lot less incentivizing, because odds are they're going to fuck you in the face with it. And that's not very pleasant in most scenarios. So it's a good card. It's very nice. Now, before I give my opinion on the whole shebang here, there was one more card announced that I'll just cover right now. Nene Amano was announced. It does affect the Millenniummon stuff. It's a start of your turn memory tamer. And then all turns when any of your composite or Twilight trait Digimon cards with Digicross requirements would be played. By suspending this tamer, one card under your tamers and one card in your trash can also be placed for the Digicross. Don't forget that BT19 was pushing some Digicross stuff with all this composite stuff. Even BT18 it technically existed with this one, right? But you could Digicross with this Machinedramon BT19, this Chimeramon BT19. Like, that was a thing that you could just do, right? So that's pretty good. Good tamer. And it's really cool because it also works in Twilight. There are Twilight cards. So that's fun. That's a good card. Anyway, what's my opinion? I don't think this deck can win Nationals. I'm going to be as forthcoming as possible. I don't see it. The deck is very combo intensive and very heavy on the play cost to play. Like, you might get OTK'd in the current speed of Digimon before this deck pops off. That's a very real possibility. Now, I've also seen it where you can like high roll and like get this shit out like turn 3, I think, which is pretty crazy. But it's less consistent than other stuff, right? I would just play a consistent blue deck over this, right? That's just kind of the way I feel about it. And if you look at the BT19 results so far, like, do you see Millenniummon anywhere? I don't. Where is it? Justymon's on the list. Where is Zeed Millenniummon, right? Yeah, I think that this deck can surprise a lot of people if you don't know how to play against this deck. But this will be out in November with Nationals being in January. And I think that a proper person testing for Nationals will at least know what all the cards in the meta do, including this, and maybe even run some games against this just to make sure they don't they don't fall to it by like some kind of surprise factor or something. So I personally, if I was going to Nationals and I was trying to win, I wouldn't play this deck. That's just me. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.